the Try Jesus podcast.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Welcome to Try Jesus podcast.
Come on.
Our last one was really awkward, babe, because we were wearing Christmas sweaters and they didn't release it until last week in January.
By awkward, do you mean awesome?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I would have been wearing my
I
Christmas
felt like
sweater.
our podcast was boring last time, so I'm bringing it.
Did you listen to it?
I did like it. I liked it. I don't know.
It's really hard to know what to do for yourself and
People's
what not
time
to.
is valuable. So I want to give them us. I want to give them the truth. I want to love them. I want to give them a virtual hug and like a little bit of a tush push. I don't know what it, sorry. There was a little bit of a, encouragement and conviction and give them some good stuff, but also just give them ourselves. And if people don't like us, that's cool. It's fine. You know what I mean? Go find your people. Got to find your cup of tea. Okay. What are we talking about today?
The Bible.
That is powerful. That is powerful.
What are we talking about?
I thought we were going to talk about sex.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about sex. And missions. Missions has been on my heart.
Yeah, those two go together very well.
Well, we went to dinner last night with our missionaries, Ben and Bree Feliques.
They're exclusively our missionaries too.
Well,
they are Activate Church's missionaries. I'm just saying, we are the church that is.
Kissed my ring last night. It was awkward, and I was
no.
Like,
I'm saying what that means is that it is on us to support them. Like it is on our church.
It is on our church. It is a mandate. We are going to Japan.
Yes.
We are supporting them. We are going to give them everything we have. We are asking for, if you can, please, $100 a month.
Yeah.
Just jump on the app, give $100 a month, be a consistent giver to them.
We need to raise $6,000 a month for them.
Yeah. If you can't hang with that, do 50. But I want to start with $100. I really think it's a seed of offerings.
Yeah.
Because we believe in tithing.
Yeah.
Jesus said to tithe?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, people are so funny. Like, well, if
but I literally I just read that.
It's like, Jesus says it in Matthew. Why are we acting like he didn't say it?
Yeah. He's actually talking to the Pharisees about it because they're saying, we tithe, we do all this stuff. And he's like, of course you should be tithing, but it's also about your heart. So he's like describing.
I just don't have time for silliness.
I know.
It's like, church, let's grow in Christ and let's do the Christian life. Anyways, support Ben and Bree. We're going to Japan. They're leaving in April.
You can support them on our website, how you give and how you tithe. There's a drop down.
Yeah.
And activatechurch.org/give.
Yeah.
And there is Feliques, the Japan missionaries on there.
Yeah. So that was last night.
But
we're going to Japan. We're going to Japan.
I'm excited to go there.
Yeah. World missions is at the heart of God. There is no two missions. We're all preaching the gospel. Jesus said to go into all the world. I'm a YWAMer. My mom got me involved in King's Kids. Where's my King's Kids at? In YWAM.
Yeah.
It's a ministry in YWAM, Youth with a Mission. And I got to go all over the world, 40 countries, some with YWAM, some with different churches and stuff like that. But you get the heart of God, and you start to realize that God is building his church all over the world. It isn't like the church here in America and then missions, and we send mission trips to other countries from our church. It's all one expansion of the gospel.
Well, and because that was the literal Great Commission, is to go into all the world. So obviously you live somewhere, but you can also go into all the world.
Jerusalem.
Bring the message. Yeah.
Start where you are. Bloom where you're planted. Yep. Okay, that's what we say. So Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Jeru. Salem. Okay. So Judea. I was going to say Jerusalem.
Why did you say Jerusalem like that? Was there something I was supposed to catch?
The new Salem. That's what Jerusalem means.
Oh.
Jerusalem. Salem. The new Jeru, I believe. I could be preaching absolute heresies right now. Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria,
Yeah.
which is cross kind of cultural,
Yeah.
and then the ends of the earth. And
Yeah.
so we are preaching the same gospel. So right now you are preaching the same gospel at your church, to your coworkers, to your neighbors, to your friends, to your family. You are preaching the gospel, the cross. The gospel is the power of God unto salvation. We have one message. We have one message. We heard last week from Michael, Pastor Michael, because I can't say his last name. Jesus Image. I need to memorize his last name.
I just keep calling him Michael Corleone, and I know that's not right.
Carrie in the car is like, Michael Corleone was preaching. I'm like,
I know his name
are
isn't
you
Michael
talking about The
Corleone, but I
Godfather?
know
Like-
that you know who I'm talking about. If I say Corleone, it's Corleonis or Corleone.
Well, in our family, I'm probably like 23.4% Italian.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is about Italians, but if you're any percentage, you're like all.
You are the Godfather.
You're Italian, yeah. So
Yeah.
I like to
Anyway, go back to what you were saying.
So yeah, it was just his message on the cross and just the church coming back to the cross, that Jesus, the Father had one message, and it was Jesus on the cross. Like, Jesus is the message of the Father. The cross is the message from the Father. It is his love. And Jesus dying on the cross, you don't graduate from that. Like, it isn't, you don't, oh, let's get deeper. It's like, it doesn't get actually deeper than God dying for us and putting your faith in that and walking, because Jesus said, pick up your cross.
Yeah.
And so I'm getting preachy, but the point is that message is the same message that we live as followers of Christ. And we just have friends going to Japan. And the cool thing about the modern era is we get to choose, you know what? I'm not going to go to Japan. I'm going to stay in America because it's awesome. And like, so we're like these wealthy, blessed people.
Yeah.
So there's no hate in that. There's no shame in that game.
Yeah.
But lest we forget that 50 years ago, 75 years ago, if you didn't have, like, there wasn't as much wealth here. You were more in tuned to your calling than your job or your comfort. But that's what we would say.
Yeah.
God cares more about your character than your comfort. God cares more about your calling than your comfort. And we might be struggling because we're more married to our comfort.
Well, and you don't have to pray if you should give to missionaries. You don't.
Exactly.
It's like you don't have to pray to tithe, because it's like that is.
Well, that's what I was going to say. We used to say you don't have
Christian
to pray to go because he commanded it. You have to pray to stay.
Yeah.
So you actually should go to the ends of the earth, actually, where the gospel's never been preached. Lay down your life for Christ, and then
But
go.
We want to lay our lives down for the all-inclusive resorts. That's the tricky part.
I do enjoy a good Bible retreat at a 5-star resort. Sorry, I'm spitting on the mic. I'm just cracking myself up here. Because
You have been doing some very interesting things lately, like a teenage boy. Like
what?
When I was yawning the other day, you guys, I was yawning and I had my eyes closed, and it was after a Sunday. It was Sunday after church, and we were just pulling up to the house, and I felt a yawn.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was a very deep yawn.
Yeah.
But you stuck your finger in my mouth.
I did.
It was absolute awfulness.
I'm learning to be more impulsive.
And then you came out and like blew on Tasha's hair. Like, it was like such a 13-year-old boy.
I don't know if we need to say.
It was funny. And she was like, that was weird.
No, because she wasn't looking at me, and I thought I could scare her. And so that was a little bit more of a staff moment today. I don't know why that got out here, to our millions of subscribers.
Yeah.
Do we have a million yet?
Yeah.
We have a million yet.
Passing millions.
Well, maybe that's a segue into sex talk. So how's the sex going?
It's great. It's awesome. What would you like to talk about in that scenario? What would you...
Well... What would I not want to talk about?
Okay.
Really? Basically. Well, we've been married for 24. 24.
This is going to be 25 years. Yeah.
It's going to be 25
in
November. Yeah, well, we were married. We were virgins. We got married. So maybe you could take us to that first night. Just how powerful.
Really?
How powerful it was. I think sex is this incredible, especially as a guy, but we live in a sexual culture. So almost everyone has been sexualized, and you really don't want that. Like,
Yeah.
really like I think a lot of guys would be like, "Oh, I kind of like growing up in this because
Mhm.
women are talking about sex, and like women
Mhm.
kind of have a pornography issue now too." You're like, like
Mhm.
as a
Oh, I
Christian,
see,
we
yeah.
wouldn't want to admit
So I was
that.
like, isn't every culture sexual? I mean, even when Jesus came, it was sexual. Like,
Well,
I felt
yeah,
like
it
every
was, it
culture has
was.
been sexual, but
Well, men typically, because our sex organ is outside of our body,
mhm.
we have testosterone. We are visual. We are initiators.
Mhm.
Obviously, we would be what I
No,
just
I
went.
just I just had a thought. I was like, how personal do I want to get into this conversation? Because I was just thinking about how I didn't know anything. But it's okay. Keep going.
I don't care. I think we ought to just like
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, listen, I don't like to cross lines in the sense of like,
Yeah, weird.
well, what I would define as weird is private. Like,
Mhm.
there's certain, bathroom routines that I don't want to know about people. There's certain intimate
Mhm.
details that I don't want to know about people
Yeah.
that I kind of do know,
Mhm.
and or you hear stories and you're like, I. So yes, in some ways, I
Yeah.
think there should be mystery and
Mhm.
there should be whatever to certain things. I do think though, like discussing things that are from a biblical perspective and a cultural perspective and a moral
Mhm.
perspective, I do think that the world has hijacked, or maybe the church gave
Mhm.
up on certain subjects to talk about because pastors didn't feel the authority to talk about
Mhm.
it, and so they slept their way through Bible college,
It's tricky. Yeah.
feel very guilty about
Mhm.
it, get touched by the Holy Spirit and by holiness, and kind of swing over here, and it's like this heavy holiness message, and you know I don't know, it can get kind of like intense and heavy, and they're kind of making up for the fact
Yeah.
that they sowed their oats in their
I know.
20s and feel
And that's
guilty.
I know, that's true. But if we're to talk about
We need
what
to
we
talk about it.
believe, like the biblical marriage and what sex is obviously for
Yeah,
marriage.
like have a lot
And
of it.
even
That's the
just,
Bible.
yeah, but just going back to like obviously it being in marriage, because it's like Jesus talks about it, how like a man and a woman become one flesh,
Leave
and then
and cleave.
don't let anyone separate that. And
Yeah.
so when you're having sex with other people outside of marriage, it's against the way that God created it, because it was like you become one flesh.
Yeah.
Let no man separate that.
Yeah.
So you become one flesh with so many other people,
Yeah.
and then you're separating it. And so
Yeah.
it's against how God created us to be, that
Yeah.
a
And
man and
yet
woman
God can
become one
heal,
flesh.
and he
Of
does,
course,
and he
but this
washes.
is what I think we're afraid to preach, that truth,
Yeah, the
because
plumb
we don't
line.
want people to feel guilty about the past or even what they're
Sure.
living in.
Yeah.
But the truth actually does set you free.
Hmm.
And so we do need to preach what Jesus talks
Yeah.
about your sex life, and how it is
Yeah.
you become one flesh. It's the only thing that we can do that makes us become one
That's crazy.
flesh.
I
Our
know.
bodies are
It's
connected.
sex is awesome.
And that's why it's for you
Yeah.
have to be willing.
Yeah.
Once that connection happens, that soul tie happens, you have to be willing to die for that person, because
Well,
that's what marriage is, and dying
yeah,
at
we're
the altar.
protecting the standard. That's really what we're
Yeah.
doing. We're putting the value. If we devalue a diamond,
Yeah.
and we're like, in which we now with
Yeah.
cubics of we can just kind of call it whatever we can make it. People just go, well, yeah, we can
Mhm.
just no. It's called fornication. It's a cheap imitation of sexual intimacy in marriage. God put
Mhm.
it in a garden,
Yeah.
protected it inside of the confines of
And said
marriage
this is what
and
it's
boundaries.
for.
Yeah, and we want to devalue it. So what we're
Mhm.
saying is, yes, God heals, He transforms, but if we don't have a value system, if we don't have a hey, this is what we're shooting for. This is what God's best is. So when people experience like, oh, it doesn't really matter. Well, no, it does matter, but why?
It does
Because there's
matter.
value to it. As a sinner saved by grace, I know that I'm the product of Christian parents.
Mhm.
So are you.
Yeah.
We're the product. We're sinning. We're
And a product of a
standing
youth pastor
of
who
youth
talked about
pastors
it every single Wednesday night.
and youth and why yes and YWAM leaders that kicked our
Yeah.
behinds,
Yeah.
and we got
Mhm.
arrested by the grace of God.
But
I could
it's
easily
not
be in
communicated.
prison.
It's not
I could have
communicated
50
much.
babies all over the world. I could have 1,000 sexual partners because I know me
1,000,
and I'm
babe.
a lustful creature.
1,000.
Probably 20,000. Was it Wilt Chamberlain?
That was shooting high.
Wilt Chamberlain. It's like
1,000.
he'd slept with 20,000 women. Well,
Anyway,
that's every
I
man's
know.
fantasy. I don't care who you are,
Mhm.
men.
Mhm.
Ladies, sorry. Your husband is a beast.
Mhm. So
Saved by
here's a
grace.
deep question that we might not be able to solve. So tell us why David had 1,000
Concubines?
concubines, and then Jesus says, "One man, one woman, one flesh. Don't let anyone separate that."
Well, I think there's more mysteries to that than most preachers want to
Yeah.
admit.
Well, I know
Why
because
God?
that's probably the question.
Do you think that's, that's the
No, I don't
question?
think it's the question.
That's
I
the
think
question on
people
everyone's
like to
heart.
talk about that. Like, how does that, why is that okay then? And it's not like what
Well, no one's
happened?
saying it's okay, and it was probably reaped havoc in
Well,
his
you
lust
really
life,
don't see,
which is his number one
you
problem.
don't see many in the Old Testament with one wife. Do you?
Okay, well, you have a cultural thing, and so you
Yeah.
have
You got to
polygamy, obviously.
multiply or
Kings
be fruitful.
did well. Kings did take on wives and did take on concubines to have more kids.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's sort of just a gray area in God's mercy and grace.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And I bet if you were to sit down with David right now and it'd be like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
David, if you could go back, even as king, I mean, what was his first wife? Saul's daughter, Michael,
Mm-hmm.
which was that was a strange relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Then he took on Abigail, and so he,
Bathsheba, obviously.
well, yeah, Bathsheba, which was older on in his life. I mean, David and Bathsheba, David was probably early 60s,
Yeah, Abigail
which
was
is
when he was
radical.
younger.
Yeah, when he was younger. So, I mean, that's a whole, obviously, biblical deep dive into, you know, God's plan was never kings either. So it's like,
That's actually such a good point. They
yeah,
were
he
begging for kings in that.
begged
Yeah,
to
he
be
didn't
like
want them to
people, and
be
he's like, hey,
kings.
there's a whole way of the
Yeah.
kings that's gonna happen to you guys. He's like, I'd
Mm-hmm.
rather just have you be my king. God's so cool because it's like crazy, and yet though he doesn't go, I don't know, he doesn't go hands off with them. He actually he orchestrates even
Leads
Saul,
them.
which
Mm-hmm.
represents man's choice,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work out. God doesn't go, told you so. I mean, per se, he's still so gracious and so like, all right, well, now that we're doing this thing, I thought that God would have showed up and been like, see, told
Mm-hmm.
y'all,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't gonna work out.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna be king. He doesn't. He's like, this is now the way of it. I've now chosen myself a king, David, right?
Yeah.
Lust in David's heart. I don't know, maybe this is some TD Jakes sermons and stuff, but it's like the one thing he doesn't pray about, which is lust. You'll never see a Psalms, Lord, like it really never comes up.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It's something he doesn't sing about, pray about. It's obviously the thing that took him down. Now, being king, the amount of power you have, it doesn't equate. Like none of us should be like, oh, apples and like apples here with David. Like
Yeah.
the most powerful man, hard after
We
God.
can't compare ourselves.
Yeah, what it would have been like. The Bible does say that when kings go off to war, maybe we can deduct from that he shouldn't have been there. He should have been where
But
he.
whenever anyone does anything bad, everybody always tries
Like,
to
I wouldn't have
redeem them by
fallen.
David.
Yeah, it's like you can't equate yourself to your back porch and you're like your neighbor Bathsheba is taking a shower and you're like, maybe I'll go flirt with her. It's like, no, it doesn't equate, obviously. Like David is the most powerful. He is like judge, jury, CIA, king, and a really
Well,
good dude all in one.
honestly, though, but the difference that we really see in David was that he was repentant always. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Because that was like why God said that you are a man after my own heart is because he was repentant all the time.
Eventually through Nathan, but
he was always responding to God. So God
Yeah.
sends Nathan to say this is whatever, and he was always responding, very quick to respond and be
Yeah.
repentant.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, I mean, lust. I think it's just the reality that without God, sex becomes God. I think. Like that's why Corinth, our current culture, is a sexual culture, because it is the highest form of intimacy. Really, right?
Mm-hmm.
Highest form of intimacy and pleasure with this person.
It's the most powerful connection that you can make with someone on earth.
Yeah.
And it's because also Jesus compares our relationship to him like that, a bride and a bridegroom.
The bride, yeah, the bride.
So
yeah.
it's the way the devil works is the cheapest imitation of what God actually has planned for you.
Yeah,
and that's what's so hard.
Way to have sex find its place in marriage, even in marriage. Like
It's
this is where there's an
submitted to marriage.
anti-purity message right now. It's like there's like reels of like people. In youth camp, I committed my life to the Lord and my youth pastor and my purity ring, and it didn't work out. I was like, excuse me, hold on. Just because like you follow truth and some principles within abstinence, purity, and marriage, don't give you the golden ticket into blissful everything is
Have you
perfect.
read the Bible?
Yes. It's the same thing with becoming a Christian.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean all your problems go away. They might increase.
Honestly,
Sister, brother.
the thing that Jesus tells you
Yeah.
is he says, I promise you difficulties.
Difficulty, offense, and
It
suffering.
actually says that difficulty is the way that leads to life.
Yeah, it's a narrow
Difficulty
way.
is the way that leads to life.
Yeah, I'm just personally
it
angry.
is, and it is difficult to stay pure these days.
Trust me.
It is like,
well, it's fun. I mean, this is obviously a portal to hell.
I know it is. Yeah.
So these little things can be.
It's a portal. It's a portal, but it is a way of our life, and we have to figure out how to use it and work with it.
Yeah. So I got the.
What do you got going on there?
Well, our water system broke at home. We have a reverse osmosis system that people want to know.
No.
You got to have clean water.
Okay.
You got to have clean water.
Anyway.
So sex, basically, so David, he steps into and gives us a revelation of a man after God's heart. The most intimate connection. There's only 2 people in the Bible that God goes, that dude has a heart after my heart. David, Caleb. There is just a special place.
Did it say Caleb had a heart after him?
He followed God wholeheartedly.
Instead of a different spirit? Yeah.
He had a different spirit.
Yeah.
So some similar language there, but it's like David and Caleb, man. So when you have David, getting caught up, however it happens, you just have to understand that flirting, affairs, pornography, emotional affairs, opposite sex, it is one of the most powerful, most beautiful, one of the most destructive things that is out there for all of us. Tread humbly and lightly, because however it happened, if David could be, David ended up murdering his friend Uriah, who was a mighty man of God. I don't know if you knew that. Uriah is actually placed within the mighty men. So it isn't just Uriah, it's just
see that. Yeah.
And so David's able to do that. How is David able to do that? The lust.
Powerful.
Perversion.
It's powerful.
It's very powerful. So protect it. And the only way to protect powerful things is to keep them within the promise that God gives us.
And that's interesting because you were saying the Psalms, he doesn't talk so much about lust.
Never.
But the Proverbs is all that.
The son.
That's so interesting. Back. Actually, I've never thought about that before. But yeah, Proverbs is all about the wisdom and don't get stuck with the harlot.
Well, but Solomon had his Solomon let it rip. He's like, hold on, my son. I am obviously Solomon's the son of David and Bathsheba.
Yeah.
So he's the son of the sin, and yet David's family goes to craziness because of the sin of David.
Yeah.
And yet God shows up, and God is with Solomon. Solomon's the wisest man, the best looking dude. And then
Solomon writes all about lust and avoiding it.
Yeah, because he went and had a ride with it. He's like, I'm gonna go check this out. 1,000 wives, 1,000 concubines. He explored every pleasure under the sun. So Solomon is the sum total. He lived every man's lust. If he saw a beautiful woman, he'd bring her into the harem, into the palace. And these women would perfume up, just like Esther, for a year. It's every sexual pornographic fantasy you could ever imagine. This woman is coming to sleep with you.
And has been prepped
for a year. She's been prepping for a year. In the art of beauty, everything. Training on sex. He did it. So every tantric, whatever you want to, sexual position. And then, Solomon basically so
is every man why can't I learn that way?
He's like, well, the sum total of life is sort of enjoy the wife of your youth, which is interesting. It isn't just get married young.
But enjoy that first one because that was your first commitment.
The idea that partnership and marriage is actually more fulfilling than a sexual fantasy.
That's what the truth is that it's more fulfilling.
It is.
And your life will be more fulfilled.
You're more fulfilling
than
any sexual fantasy.
I know. Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so cool. Thank you, Lord, for that. I know. The commitment.
But so sex, I think, it's the journey. It's a language And so it is something you get to learn together.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I think a lot of people are like, man, I'm not good at sex.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know if a lot of people are. I'm just saying, like, or there's something not happening in
Everybody.
their marriage, and they're like, "Whoa, we're gonna do." Because
Mm.
you don't. It's, the thing about sex is it's not easy. It's like you plop down. We had a long night
Within
yesterday.
marriage, it is like one of those things. It's like it's
Hey,
never one of the things
so
that you want to talk
let's
about,
talk about sex. Yeah, cool. So the other night,
but you don't
your
want to talk.
toenail
I know.
scratched me.
But you don't want to
You think we
like
can
you
hygiene
don't want
up?
to like yeah, that's the thing is like you have to be very careful like when you talk about it because you don't want to talk about right before and then you don't want to talk about right after because then it's accusational. But then you also don't
Yeah.
want to like ruin a dinner talk. Lord help
So
us.
what would you suggest, Carrie?
I think that you schedule it. No, just kidding. I think that you have to have ongoing conversations about everything in your life constantly. I'm just repeating things that you tell me because I'm
Mm.
not the talker. I'd rather just pretend everything's fine. Everything's fine. Um,
Well, on that point, I think that men need to be we're boys. This
mm,
generation is a bunch of boys,
okay.
and men need to initiate,
Thank you for that.
and men need
Hmm.
to. You women like to be taken,
But
not not
it's insanely vulnerable for a man to initiate the
it's
conversation
very
of sex
vulnerable.
because you are probably worried or what would the fear would be is that a guy would be like, "Well, you're just gonna think I'm gross because this is what I," you know what I mean, or
Yeah, and I want
whatever.
a porn wife.
Yeah, and then it's awkward for any girl because then you're like, "I don't know if I can do that, but I want to give you what you want. I want
And
to."
I want you to want it though.
Yeah, so
I want you to just give me what I want. Just because like a woman wants the man to want to
yeah.
communicate. Well, tell me what you want me
You
to
have
say.
so
I
in that
want you to know.
conversation, we have to wrap this up, but
Okay.
in that conversation,
Right
you
when it's
have
getting
to
spicy.
be you do your absolute very best to not get hurt and be and offended in that conversation because on both sides
Yeah.
the moment like I'm gonna have to trust and have your best interest in mind the entire time and you have to have that for me too. Do we always know? Of course not. But like the moment you're
Yeah.
getting offended in that conversation, then that triggers something in you like, I never want to have this conversation again. So you
Well,
have to be able
yeah,
to,
you want to be like open to having
yeah,
conversations and not shutting
yeah,
conversations down. I would say it's its own language.
yeah,
It is its own language,
yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's passionate, it's
Mm-hmm.
breathy, it's kissy, it's touchy, it's response.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so it can't just be full of wordy communication. It is a very
Yeah.
eye contact. Like sexual intimacy is the sum total, like cherry on the top of the sundae. Like you,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like a scorecard to where you're at.
Wow.
You know, because it is como está. What?
Because you
It's a
have to
different
be
language.
connected. Yeah, it is. Oh, and that's maybe why Jesus even describes our relationship with him like that. Because it's a complete it's something that you just can't understand.
Yeah, different plane. You don't just get to. Okay, so tonight,
Mm-hmm.
why don't we try position A
Mm-hmm.
and then swing it over to. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, then it gets a little.
I know.
Whoa, whoa! Are you giving
Yeah.
me the? What is
I need
happening?
to go. Oh, this is so good though. I
To
love
be
that
continued.
conversation. Should do yeah.
What are you doing tonight? Huh? All
I
right.
love you guys. Hopefully, just initiating that conversation is helpful.
That's good. Praise
Okay.
the Lord.
Love y'all.
Absolutely.
Goodbye.
Cool.